I speak Japanese. Listen up. Hey, you kind of
Hey, what is up, guys? I'm Ayush Agarwal. So, today we are going to see the part 2 of Blender simulation. So, before starting it, let me just open my Blender file, a new Blender file, general. Okay, before starting anything, I want to just summarize what we did in the last workshop. In the last workshop, we saw the physics step simulation. Yeah, my mic is open. Okay, we saw the physics step simulations where we saw the cloth simulation and rigid body simulation, collision simulation. You can check it out in the previous video. So now moving on with the physics simulation. Today we will try to cover fluid simulations and four fields and also we will try to cover soft body if the time allows us. So let's begin. uh, I think you guys will remember some of the basic shortcut which I generally use, like pressing the middle mouse button to freely move in the viewport, pressing the shift key plus middle mouse button to go sideways, using numpad for 1 7 to go in certain accesses to work with, pressing tab button to go in edit mode and object mode, toggle between them, and S to scale something, escape to release it, shift D to duplicate something, and control Z basic things. Other than that, R to rotate, and if you want to rotate in particular axis, press that axis. If you want to rotate in Y axis, you can just press Y key to rotate it in the Y axis. Mm, Other than that, I think G to move freely somewhere. If you want to move it in particular direction, like if you want to move it in Z axis, just press the Z after pressing the G. These are some basic stuff. Now moving to the fun part of the day. So fluid simulation. It is the coolest simulation in the Blender. You guys can perform many many animations and do much more with the fluid simulation. So before doing that, let me show you a bit more things. Like I think last time I didn't introduce this timeline thing. This is a timeline which you get in the Blender. Here you can set your keyframe for the animations and stuff by pressing the space key. You can see that this is going up. Each number represents a frame number here, and every frame, these are the frame, not the seconds or stuff. These are the frame, like zeroth frame. And as you know that 120 frame 24 hertz makes a video, and today it goes to 120 frames per second. So each of these represent a frame. So we will be using it by to simulate the things. This is the timeline thing. So let's just toggle it down, and let's just start with basic fluid simulations. Let me just resize this cube a bit and add another cube. Let's just make it a big and GZ to, let me align it with like this, GZ, and here, I think, yeah, that's fine. And adding another cube over here, and again going to front view mode. Let's go to X-ray mode, wireframe X-ray mode. It is best. You guys can remember these things, like this is for wireframe, it is for solid view, color preview, and render view, and this is for X-ray thing. I think I told you in the last workshop, but okay, let me just tell you what X-ray does is like. Let me show you. In solid view mode, if you haven't like done this X-ray view mode, you can only select these. Let me show you by the faces. Okay, I have just selected a raw cube. Yeah, so right now you can see that, like, if I want to select the whole cube, I can't select it. Like right now I can select these two faces because these are viewable in the viewport. But if I press this X-ray mode, what I can do is, like, now I can see the faces of the behind. So by this I can select every single corner of the box using this X-ray mode. So this was some simple things. So right now what I was doing, like, let me just put down this cube inside this box. Why I'm doing this, I will tell you guys in a bit, and let me just show you guys everything. So right now I just did this, and let's go to solid view mode. And right now we have a cube inside a cube. So let's just what we do is, like, let's just apply this fluid simulation on the big cube. It does nothing at all. So why? Because the type is set to none. So domain, in this we have three types, four types, none, but it doesn't do anything, so we will we will be not counting it at all. So first is domain, flow, and effector. So let's just see what domain does. Okay, domain has just created it like wired shape, or you can say like every border is gone. But right now we are in the gaseous phase. So right now we really don't want to use the gaseous phase. We will just right, we will be seeing the liquid phase right now. So let's just go to liquid. Now we can't see anything because it will be creating a mesh for the water simulation. Domain what it does is it just create a boundary where the liquid will be contained. Like this is the area in which the liquid simulation will happen. Like let me explain like this. Let me just create another cube, and let me just increase the size like S. And now let me just go to wireframe mode. And now in this cube, all the simulation, whatever you do of the water simulation, will be done in this cube. Nothing will go out of it, and nothing will come I think come in it. It is the water, it is the domain in which everything will happen. Okay, so this is the we have created a domain right now, but it is just difficult to work with this domain as we can't see inside the box. For that, what you can do is go to object property, and in object property go to viewport display, and there you can convert the solid to wire. So here we can see this like now it is a wireframe, so we can work easily inside the cube. But okay, there might be a question with you guys. Like initially when I was just, where is the physics, this one, when I was in gaseous phase it was wireframe, but when I come to liquid phase it just get into a solid cube, because in gaseous phase we really do not require that mesh. We require it, but like water is kind of like full mesh thingy, so it does that thing. Blender do that. So right now just do it wireframe. And now we have the domain where the water will be simulated, but there is no inflow or outflow for the water. So what we can do is like we can create something which has a which will be the water. So this cube, let's just click on fluid simulation and go to flow. Here let's just go to liquids only. These things we will see later on. Liquid, and in after liquid the flow will have three behavior: inflow, outflow, and geometry. We will see into each of them one by one. So let's just go to flow, inflow. So right now there is nothing happened. So for that, like let's just to see the water simulation, what you need to do is you need to play the timeline. So if I just now play click on space bar, you can see nothing is happening, nothing at all. So yeah, for that let's just go to domain, click on domain. These boxes are domain, so you need to, most of the things will happen in the domain only. You just need to select this, and you can just change the initial velocity and the flow source and everything, but main everything simulation will happen in the domain itself. So let's come back to domain, and uh, here the I don't know about you guys, I have already set up a cache to here. What it does is it just simulate everything and just store it somewhere, so that it do not need to calculate every single time. So here it is right now on the type of replay. So what it does is like, let me just increase it to 64 so that you guys can see it. Like now you can see it initially. Okay, let me just show you every single thing what it has. Right now we are in the domain type and we have selected the liquid. So here is the resolution division. Let me just go to initial settings. It was on 32, and here on the 32 one, what this cube is tend to be a source of water which is flowing the water inside this domain. So we have the resolution at the 32. 32 means like it will be separated and less what you say, less resolution in it. Timestamp control the speed of the water, and these things we will see later. Let me just show you what 32 does. 32-bit does. So yeah, you can see that this is our water simulation, to be precise. And right now you can see that water is just this blue dots here, and you really can't see anything here. This is because right now we are at the 32 bits and we have not created mesh right now. Right now we are dealing with the particles only, and they are showing the particle things only. Like here you can see that this is the perfect thing. This look beautiful, to be honest, but this is not what water looks like. We need a water. This is like the path we can see, but it is not a water. So what I prefer is, like, you can also go with the replay itself. It what it does is, like, it can give you instant simulations, but it is not correct every time, and it might take some extra space, and uh, it is not that smooth. So what I like is, I just love to go to in modular and just check this sign box. It will help you in the mesh. Here, let's just now what it provide us with individually baking thing. Like, let me show you. Initially when I press the space button, there was like blue dots were appearing, but right now it is not, because we need to do that work manually. We need to bake the data here, and where is the mesh, and we need to bake the mesh again. So before baking the mesh, we need to bake this simulation first. So let me just okay, this is let's come to cache. Here you can see that here is the starting frame and the ending frame. You can just mm, you can just set up where to begin and where to stop it, but for that you need to provide a cache memory folder. You can just provide any folder, like I have provided one folder right here itself. You can just add a path or something, or you can create some new folder in your any drive or so. It is just a basic giving a folder type thingy. You can give any folder whichever you want, create one and do it. I think I have created already, so it is just showing me you guys need to create it. So create it and it will be fine now. And reusable is also, you need to check in when you're using the modular one. It is not required in the replay. It is required in the replay too, but I generally do not prefer the replay one. So let's just bake this one and see what it does. Let's just bake it at 64 resolution. It will be a bit more clear. So let's just click on bake, and it will take some time. And if you guys have any doubt or anything, you can just ask me in the chat box till that time it is baking. This is the problem with the slow PCs. Just takes a time to render it out. Okay, let me what it will take forever to be rendered, because it is quite a slow PC I have. Oh, wow. It is looking awesome, to be honest, but yeah. Let me just free the data. Free means, like, you need to just this will delete all the work, all the simulation you have done, and resume will continue it. Let me just free it, and let me just simulate it till 50th frame. It will be easier for my computer to handle that much, and we can see the simulations. Okay, let's just bake it. If you guys have any doubt, you can just ask me in the chat box. Okay, our baking is done for the particle thing. So now you can see this uh, this has been baked, and till the 58th frame. So till the 58th frame, the water will be simulated like this. So right now you can see that this is happening something, but it is not the water, it is just a particle and stuff. For that, now we need to bake the mesh. So it will take a while, but we will do it, and I will show you what it does. Let's just peek the mesh. I think it is calculated on CPU. I think my CPU is a bit more powerful than my GPU. I can set it to GPU too. Okay, the baking is done for that, and let's just see what it does. Oh, now now you can see that this looks bit like a water, not to be exactly like a water. Like it has just created a mesh in this. Now you can see that this the domain which we have created, it has now gone. It has merged with this mesh. So this mesh initially in the smoke one, you can see that that in a smoke thingy there was a wireframe mode, but not in the on not in the water, in the liquid simulation one. It was solid one. So it was for that. This has created a solid mesh around the particles which we have simulated. So this is what is happening. Let me just set it to the GPU. I think. Oh, we are in the EV, so yeah, it will be. I think CPU and GPU for sure. I will show you in the cycles too if my laptop allows me. Today we can see some crashes too. So be ready if the stream pauses in the middle of nowhere. My laptop must have been crashed because today we are going to do some liquid simulation. So here is the mesh. But okay, let's just see in the render view mode what it looks like and what it does. So it looks like creepy, to be honest. Like it is nowhere near the water. This is because I have set it to like not to be precisely liquid in the viewport to save my GPU power. But if I go to like 0 in the camera view mode, let me just set my camera. uh, Display, and here, yeah, I think this is fine. And let me just add a plane so that it is a bit more visible. Plane S, and let me just increase it the size like this. Not, I'm not doing the like very precise. I just want to show you guys a bit, and let's just leave the source and add a sun. Yeah, GZ. I think now let me just click on F12 and I will show you what it looks like. Let me just go to cycles, and I'm using 2.8 right now. 2.83, I think my version is 2.83. You guys can do these things in 3.02. So let me just do to CPU compute and F12. So it is a white liquid thingy. You can see that. I can simulate the simulation too by just simulating like rendering out the animation. Just Control F12. You can do that, but I'm just creating individual. I'm rendering the individual frame because it will take forever to do that. So like now, just let me show you 12. Yeah. And this. So this is the liquid. To be honest, this really don't like the liquid. So let's just make it a bit liquid. I will do this one time. After that, I will not do it. I will just show you the different type of simulations. So let's just go to glass simulation, glass, and roughness to this. And now let's just see. Yeah. Now you can see this. It is a bit more towards the liquid side. Let me just do this one more thing. It will just look good. Let's go to shading and go to world. If you guys have any doubt, you can ask me anytime in the chat box. It will be my pleasure to answer your questions. pressing going to world, I just go to shading. We were in the layout mode. I just go to shading into, or it was an object mode. I just go to world. There I just press the shift A and to go to texture, environment texture. Yeah, this one, and delete this background one. I have an HDRI. I don't think you guys will having an HDRI, but just you can download it from HDR Heaven. This is a free site which provides lots of HDRIs. So HDRI, I think you guys know. If you guys do not know, I will tell you in a bit. Let me show you what HDRI does. Okay, I think, yeah. Okay, let me show you. So initially what I was doing is like I was providing a sun and all the lighting was done by a sun, and every lighting condition I need to create lighting condition. But HDRI does what it does is like it just create an environment around your 3D modeling, and it just wraps the whole environment. Like you can see that I have this forest HDRI, and it has just been surrounded by the forest, and yeah, it is just creating the environment itself. So right now, if I go to this and just press F12, you can see this. The water like looks more realistic than just um, initially what it was doing. It will take a bit more time, but yeah, it is it is more liquid. It is more water looking than the previous one because I was just artificially creating the light and stuff. But the HDRI just provide you with everything. It just provide you with the lighting, the perfect lighting which you want in a particular thing. But and suppose if you do not want that, we are getting some forest things, you can just even remove that forest thing by going to the nope, not in this one. Yeah, in this one. Yeah, in this one. Okay, you can go to in your render property, then go to film, and under that click on this checkbox button one, and here the lighting will remain. Like let me show you. Now you can see that there is nothing in background, but water is still getting that light. So this was our initial basic setup, and this was like it was a basic water simulation. Now let's just go back and delete everything. It is hard to delete the simulation because it takes time to simulate, but what can we do? So let's just delete these things and just let's just add a new cube. Just press N. Let's just add another cube. Let's just resize it to like this. Go to 1 CZ, easy things. Perfect. And let's just add another cube. Let's just go to 1. And for the if you guys wondering, just press 0 for going to the camera view mode if you have the keypad. So going this wireframe mode, selecting this box, ZZ, and here I will say here. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to show you. Let's just show you the okay, let me think. Let me just increase its size to S shift Z, and let's just do it here. Yeah, I think it is edge to edge. We have a bit of a gap, but let's just ignore it. Okay, let's just apply this physics simulation again. Fluid to domain liquid, and going to that object property, the object property, and solid wireframe mode. And here now, let's just go to object, physics tab, and fluid, flow, liquid, and let's just show you what geometry does. We have inflow. You just saw the inflow thing, like it was just dripping out the water from inside. Now just see what the geometry one does. So I can just go to domain, and we need to do it again. This is a bit of a hassle, but bear with me. You need to do these things again. And for this geometry one, let's just add one more thing. It will be fun to watch that. Shift A, UV sphere, and ZZ. Let's just, I think this one will be fine. This much size, and uh, I is for like, when you press I or clicking on an object, you can set its keyframe. I think I told you guys in the last workshop, but yeah, by clicking this location, I have set this location as I. Now going to the 28th frame, I think it will be fine. No, let's just okay, let's just go to 20 frame, and let's just GZ, and this ball will be in the water. And this one again, press I, click on location, it has marked this location. So initially, like you can see, this is a bit of a simulation type thingy, and right now nothing is happening. This water is, there is no water or anything. Okay, click on domain, and let's just simulate it to 100 itself, because it will take forever. Module, and let's just bake it really quick. Okay, you guys can see there is nothing happening because there is water. You can see this. There are blue dots. Wow, atomic molecules of water. Uh, but there is mesh. This is interrupting our view. So what we can do is just go to here, and let me just add the viewport thing and the render thing. It will be fine. So this cube, we need to just remove this cube from our viewport so that we can see the water. So now, and we can remove it from the render too, so that in the this, okay, what I did, let me show you again. It might be a bit of confusion. So here are the some tools which help you in rendering and viewporting everything. So from this, what I did is, like, this eye is to hide an object. Like, if I click on UV sphere, I can just click it, and it is, I have hide it, but it will show in it, and this is for hiding it in the viewport. But right now, if I just press F12. Okay, okay. Now I need to just show you. Okay, let me just, what can I do is, like, let me just hide everything for now. Okay, okay. Let me show you by doing something. Pressing 0 and camera. Let's just go bit on a sideways here. Let me show you everything here. And now press Shift A, adding a cube. Cube is the cube is the best way to show something. Telling you. And now, like, if I just press this hide button and click on F12, let's just see what comes out. You can see that this box still appears. It is not in the viewport, but still we can see it in the render. So we can just unhide it and just click on this LCD display one. It is like a LCD monitor thing. What it does is, it again hides it from the viewport, but it will appear in the render. Like, it is appearing in the render too. But if you want to remove it completely from the render, you can just, what it can do is, click on this this one, you can see it is visible in the viewport. But if now I click on F12, it will not appear in the render itself. We can see it in the viewport and everything. We can just move it around and everything, but it will not appear in the render viewport, in the render view. So this camera thing is for render. You can just click on it, and it will not appear on the render. Disable in rendering and enable in rendering. This is for that. So that's what I did. And let's just go to what we were doing back then. Okay. hmm So what I did is like, let me show you everything. I just bring back everything, and I think this will be fine. Or let me set up the camera a bit more again. I think like this. Yeah. Hmm. So if I just press space bar here, and right now you can see that there is water. You can see I have baked this mesh. Let me click on domain. I bake the mesh, but right now this box itself is interrupting the view, because this box is still, like, you can, if you remember in the inflow thing, when I did the inflow water simulation, in that one I just, there the box is visible and the water was dripping out of it. So same is happening with this one. We have provided the geometry. The geometry is like water is present in the geometry thing, like the box size. We have this box size, and the water of this size of the box will be appeared in the viewport. But the box is there itself, so we can't see the water. For that, let's just hide. No, this one. Let's just hide it from the viewport and also disable from the rendering one. Now you can see that there is the water molecules, and here it is blank because we have not created mesh till now. There is water. I promise, take my word, there is water itself here. But after when we create the mesh, it will be appearing. Right now it is just, it is like nothing is there, because we need to, let me show you what we need to do. Uh, we need to just, first we have to bake this domain. After that we need to bake mesh. Okay. Uh, Let me do one more thing. Let me just take this sphere and take the simulation to like 60 to 80, so that water will be settled down a bit, and I will show you it. It's look really cool in this one. And let's just quickly bake it up. Free the data, and let's just bake it at 64, and let's just bake it. Okay. If you guys have any doubt, you can just ask me in the chat box till the time it is baking up. If you guys like this video, you can just also like this video. If you like this content, you can hit like. And I think we just mess the things a bit. I think, yeah, I think we just messed the things up. Okay, let me just free the data again and bake it up again. Okay, I think the water should be visible. Yeah, water is there. Okay. What I did was I just created the water mesh when the box was not visible in the viewport. So there was water, but it was not visible. But now, after the simulation of the water, we can just hide this box and see our water simulation. Now you can see that this water looks, we have way more dots. Now we will be baking the mesh. Let's just click on domain again and bake the mesh. It will take a bit of a time. If you guys like this, please like this video. Mhm. Okay, it is done. Let's just see what is happening. Let me just deselect it. Oof, this black liquid. This is because I have just enabled that mesh thingy. Like I can see the mesh instead of just seeing that white liquid. I need to turn it off, but it will take a while, so I'm not doing it. Let's just press the play button. Let's just see what happens. Like right now, you can see that there is no inflow of water or anything. It is just there water itself. And that was a bit slow, I will say. That ball just tipped in the water like lazily. Oof. I should have increased the speed, and let's just see what happens in the viewport. I will say the simulation was not that good because I have just hidden the box again with before the mesh thingy, so it just didn't calculate that much. Oof, we need to do it again. Let me just free the data again, and let me just do it again, and let's just do it this time. And okay, there is one more thing. I think that's why it is not happening. Let me just add some modifier to it, subdivision modifier, so that it will have a bit of smoothness and everything. See the smooth, and now it has the vertices to interact with the water. Initially it do not have that much of the vertices, so it was not acting well. And now geometry, this one domain liquid, and yeah, let's just bake it up, and let's just increase the speed of the water too, like ball, sorry. And let's just bake it up fast. Okay, let me just bake the mesh again. Hmm. Now the simulation should look bit better. That's my hope. Okay, let me just I not this one. Yeah, cube. And let's see. Oh shit, that's why it is not happening. Mm, I just forgot to add something, and that's what I was intent to show. Let me just show you really quick. Right now you can see that this water was not affected by anything or anything else, like it was just dipping in the water without affecting it. So for that we need to also provide this sphere like fluid, and this time we will provide it like we have seen the domain flow, and this time we are going to provide it a factor. So what it does is like it will just simulate the collision of the water. So last from the last two times we can't see the collision, right? It's just dipping in the water. So let me just, it was my mistake, sorry for that. I just forgot about the factor thing. Okay, let's just beat the mesh really quick. Okay, now let's just see the simulation. Now you can see this. This is what I was trying to show you guys, and let's just remove this box. This box is just a bit annoying. Now you can see the perfect simulation of water simulation. So initially there was no effect on the water by this ball, but when I just click on the fluid, and after that I just clicked on, let me just show you that. I clicked in on type a factor, and here it was simulated, and now you can see that this is the this is what I initially wanted to show. Let's just give this thing really quick the material, uh, glass material, and roughness to 0, and just click on 0 and F12. Let's just see the render. So you can create a container around it, and you can simulate the water simulation. You can see that this is what it will look like if you drop a ball or anything in the water body or something like that. So this was a simulation for that. This is what the affector and the flow geometry thing does. So this was two things which I showed in this one, this simulation. So moving on, and you can see that if you do not want in render one, you can just see the simulation 2 in this one. This is the simulation what will happen. Let me just show you from the 0th frame to the 100th frame what will happen, and I think this will be the perfect, like, let me just click on render if it can happen. Okay, okay, nope. It will not happen. My GPU is not that powerful. Let's just show you in the this viewport thingy. Here we are getting 10 frames, so you can understand we will not get any frames in render view 1. So you can see that this is the water simulation which is happening, and I just rendered it to the 100 frame only. If you have done like in the cache one, this is the domain one, physics tab. in the domain one, if you have done it to 250 and something like that, it has simulated further to that. So this was about it, and let's just move on to other part. Let me just delete this and the sphere 2, and let's just again make a domain gz. Nope, not like that. Gz, scale it up. Gz, I think this will be fine. Okay, and now we can do one more thing is this time let's just, instead of cube, let's just add a UV sphere. Let's just do this gz and this one, and this time I'm going to show you the outflow thing, like what outflow does. So let's just add another sphere. Okay, let's just add cube, then we will add a sphere later on. Shift A, and let's just decrease its size and use gz here, or let's just use cube sphere. It will be fun to watch. And decrease its size gz. Okay, fluid domain liquid, need to change it to wireframe mode. The sphere, okay, we need to decrease its size like this one. I think this will be fine. And let's just go to simulation, fluid and flow, and this one we will going to do inflow, and this one we will going to do outflow. And let's just domain be it on replay mode. I think this time it should be fine, or it is doing anything or not. Okay, let's just, what we can do is, like in this one only, we can just increase it to 64 resolution, and let's just click on play. Ah, come on, try to do something. Okay, we need to go to modular thingy only. Let's just go change it to this one, module, and just click on, yeah, I just selected the liquid. Oh, come on, I just clicked on smoke. Just liquid, 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 yeah, everything is on liquid right now. I think this will work when in replay. Let's just see. Yeah, okay. Now you can see is that initially when there was inflow only, you can see that the water was flowing in the box, but the there was nothing in the box was filling with the water. The domain was filling with the water, but the outflow is what it does is, from the name itself you can understand outflow. It is just acting like a drainage system, or you can say a vacuum where the water will go and disappear. This is it. Let me just show you, like if I remove it from here, like just G's from here, I think it is fine. And now if we go again and click on domain 64, and then just click on this, and you can see this. Now the water is filling in the in this domain, but it is not getting disappeared. But when it will touch this uh, outflow liquid simulator, the water will start disappearing. Let it reach to mm, okay, it is about to. I should have kept it down. Now you can see that I think the water will be stabilized here in this position, because the outflow will dominate over the inflow. So water will be disappear. Okay, let me just show you a more cool thing. This is go to 0 and take this sphere, right, just be this, I think, yeah. And what we can do is like in outflow, mhm. Okay, I need to change that thing for the domain. For this replay one, you need to just one time just reset this domain, then it just starts simulating everything. It's the problem with replay one. This is why in the major simulation we generally use like uh, we generally use modular one, but as I really don't want to bake again, that's why I'm using the replay one. So right now this is what is happening. This is the initial one, and let's just go to this and just click on this again. 0, 64, and it will take some time. Oh, come on, please start. Yeah. So when I just click on uh, use flow, it will just do nothing at all. Basically, with the water which is coming from the flow, it will use that. If I click on this is what it does. So moving on, I will show you one more thing before doing anything else. Let's just click on inflow, and let's just what we can do is when the water comes here, it will, okay, let's just G Z, and let's just go here and CX here, and let's just simulate the water till here, and let's just, yeah, keyframe it. These are button for keyframing it, and the next step, let's just keyframe it again, and this time no checkbox. So let me show you what I did. I just messed it up a bit. Okay, just do that and do this. Oh, I just keyframed it. This one, sorry, my bad. Let's just simulate this one here and here, and then take it and this one. Now let's just see what it does. You can see this. I just keyframed it to just stop up simulating the water after a bit of a time. It is just taking a time, like here the water is there and it is just evacuating it slowly and steadily. I can just increase the flow source and everything, but yeah, I'm not doing it. So this is this is how you can just simulate amount of water if you want to show it. Like, let me show you what I did again. I just keyframe the initially at use flow. After that, I just go to a 24 frame, and where I want to just stop it, and I just uncheck the use flow and keyframe it. After that, the water will stop. It just takes a bit because the geometry is that big, and yeah. So this is what happened, and slowly and steadily it will just drain out all the water from it. So this was this, and let's just make a mini project out of all these things which we just saw. Okay, let me add a cube again. For domain, generally we use this only itself. Okay, before that, let's just while we are on that we are creating this. Let me just add a UV sphere. GZ going to 1, or to be precise on 7, and let's just hide these things for now. Yeah, this will nope, no, not this one. I think this one. Let me add the subdivision modifier, increase it to, oh, not keyframing it, increasing it to, and going to edit view mode, and I will select this half top and delete the vertices. Oh shit, you need to click on X-ray one so that you can just select every object behind it too. So this one, delete the vertices. Yeah, so this is what I want to do. And here after that I will just use the solidify modifier to give it a bit of a thickness so that it look like a sink. To be honest, I think it looked like a bit of a sink. Yeah, it will work. Let's just bring back everything, and let's just increase the size of our domain. To be precise, let's just increase the size in z-axis so that we get a bit more space, and it is just too much here. And okay, and let's just quickly apply the fluid simulation over it, and this will be our domain for liquid. And let's just go to solid and wire, and let's add another cube. Let's yeah, cube or cylinder for water outflow. Let's just use a cylinder. Okay, let's just say it is a pipe. I really don't want to create a pipe right now, so let's just assume it as a pipe. So it is a pipe. It is just attached to something like, let me just give it a cylinder thingy. Shift D and ZX here, and let's just increase it to, let's go to edit view mode, select this face, elongate it. Okay, it is a pipe. Bear with me, this is a pipe, believe me. uh yeah, and the water is coming out of it. This is the water which will flow the water. So let's just go to physics tab again, and let's just make it as a simulator, and let's just flow liquid and inflow, and let's just simulate it what will happen. Let me just go to domain thing. I just really don't want to do it again, and we will simulate it for 100 frame. I think it will be fine for the 100 frame, and let's just make it at 32 for now. It will be quick because we are just giving it less, and let's just see what happened. So this is the thing what we want this water to flow in our sink. Let's just place the sink bit close, not too much. Yeah, still you know that it will not flow in this one because it is just dripping out of like this. Okay, let's just, what we can do is just free the data, and we can go to this one, and we can provide the initial velocity to the water. So we want the initial velocity in the x-axis, because in the x-axis then only then it can reach to this. So we will providing it 1 meter per second. So let's just now go to domain again and bake the data again for the 100 frames. And when we click on the, now you can see that instead of dipping like this, dripping from the net, it is getting some velocity over it, but it still can't reach to the sink. So let's just free the data again and go that there and increase it to 2 meter per second for the x-axis. I think now we will be reaching to the sink, and take the data really quick. And yes, we are reaching to the sink, but what, this is not getting in our sink, because right now the sink is not affecting to the water. It is just the hair itself and doing nothing at all. For that we need to give the sink a factor here, a factor. Now when we will bake it, let's just bake it quick. Now when we will bake it, the attendance form is here. You can just fill the attendance form. You guys can fill the form really quick. Now you can see that still there is nothing happening. Why? Because right now we have done is like there need to be specific thickness for this bowl, so that the sink, so that the water do not drip it out, because the simulation is like that. For that we can, what we can do is just enable this one is planar. So after that it will, what it does is, if it is a thin sheet also, it will affect the water itself in the effect. So let's just click on domain, free the data, bake it again, and this time it should work. Now you can see this time the water is in the sink, and it is just, getting in the sink itself. But right now what we if I just play it, you can see that this is getting overflowed and it is dripping out of that. We really don't want that. So what we can do is we can just provide a drainage system to this sink. Let's just give a drainage system which will be a bit of a slender thing. Hmm, yeah, some say it looks like it, but not completely. But I think it will work. It looks like sink G's and SZ, sorry. Yeah, and here we just squeeze it a bit. Yeah, here. Now it is looking like a bit more realistic sink, and we can just provide it as an outflow. Fluid, flow, liquid, and outflow. Let's now just again free the data and bake it again. And now you can see this is working fine than last time, but it is still not the perfect. For that we need to play with some settings, and we can just change planar, flow and mesh, outflow, Sampling rate, just increase it to 3 before my PC get crash. And surface emission, let's just do it 0.1 for now. Yeah, let's just bake the data again. We need to just play with these settings to get the perfect results we want, what we want. In the meantime, if you guys have any doubt or anything, any step, you can just ask me. Now you can see that the simulation is a bit more perfect. We still can't see the particles. For that, we need to do it like 64 or things. Then we will get the perfect result. If you guys want, I can just bake it up really quick. If you guys want, you can write yes in the chat box. There's a 10-second delay. So let's just wait for your answer. Okay, moving on. Let's me just I will not bake the mesh. I will just do it on big data for the 64 one so that it will be a bit more clear. We can do it, bake the mesh and give the color, everything. We can do it like we did in initially. Okay, let's just now hit the play button, and you can see that it is just bit more detail, but oof, the water is getting overflowed because the outflow of the water is not that uh, what do you call it, mm, fast enough to just pull it down everything. And other than that, as you have noticed, it is just completely different simulation uh, than the last one at the 32 one. So every time you increase the division resolution division, you will get different simulation. This is the fun about the blender. So yeah. Okay, moving on. This was a small project for the water simulation. Now we will go to smoke simulation and other stuff. Let's just delete it except the plane. Plane is important. Oh, come on, I just deleted the plane. Okay, we will add a plane. Okay. If you guys have any doubt regarding the water simulation before moving to the more fluid simulation, put it in the chat box. I will be back in a minute. Okay, guys, I'm back. So I think there's no questions or anything about regarding uh, fluid simulations. So moving on to the smoke simulation. So it is same as the fluid simulation. Most of the things are same. So let's just quickly do a thing which I think if you have seen the tutorial of some of the YouTubers like Blender Guru, you must have saw this tutorial. Let me just use this monkey face and press F3 and do quick smoke. If I click on it on quick smoke, you can see this, like now it's quickly have given the domain and everything. And if I click on the space bar, you can see that there is a quick smoke thing. So if we go to in the physics tab, you can see this, everything is given itself, like in the flow smoke and inflow and everything, and the rest everything is same as what we were doing in the fluid simulations. It itself has given us this thing, and we can just change the things, like from smoke we can do fire and smoke. If I click it to play again, let me just click it on this one, and let's just yeah, it is on gas, and let's just do this. And now this is what is happening. Yeah, the fire monkey is on, the monkey head is on fire and smoke. Okay, so we can also do it in the module thing, but right now as I showed you everything in the liquid domain, we will not be doing it. So okay, moving further, let's just delete this monkey face. Okay, let's just delete this whole domain itself. So this was a quick thing, how to add quick smoke and everything, but let's just create something out of it. Let's do GZ, and to be precise, let's just SZ, GZ, and let's just scale it on this axis too, so that we have a bit space to work. We will be going to see the what force field does with the smoke simulation, because what the water it will be a bit difficult to explain. With smoke we can just simulate everything and it will be fine. Let's just give this a smoke and domain, and this time we will leave it in gas phase itself, and we will see the boundary collision and everything. In the water domain it was just everything was checked it out, and we need this, so I didn't do anything much, but in this one we will see this if the time allows us, like we have a bit more time to work with. So let me just add a cylinder. Let's just use a cube, but a small cube. GZ, a bit small. Okay, let's just add this flow smoke, not geometry, in flow, and now just press just go to this and just hit this. Look, right now you can see this, there is a black smoke coming out of this one, this box, and it is just affecting everything, and it is just going on the top. Right now if I click on domain, you can see this is unchecked everything. If I click on, let me just show you this, click on top, and you can see this, what will happen. Let's just go to 0th frame, and now see what will happen. uh, Now what is happening is, like it will be a bit more clear if I just okay, let me just remove it, and okay, file simulation is not happening. This is the problem with the replay one, sometimes this happens, but yeah. That's why the modular one, in the module one, you are just no, you will know that the simulation will happen every single time. Uh, but in that there is a problem, like you need to go through timeline again and again, bake it again and again, whole simulation instead of doing it rapidly. But yeah, these things, there is a problem with Blender. So right now you can see this the smoke is not fully affected by this fall. Here you can see this, there smoke is going up but not it is not holding up properly. So if I click on top and let's just go to 0 again and click on play, and it is not playing again. This that is why, let's just do it module then. Let me just make it really quick. So now you can see this. Now the smoke is holding up there in the top, but it is going out from the left and right. But what if I this is like free the data and right, back, top, front, left, except the bottom. Let's leave the bottom for now and just bake it again. Now if I play the clip, now you will see what will happen. This smoke is getting stored in it. Now you can see this. Initially what was happening when I was not checking these boxes, it was just getting outflowed somewhere and getting disappeared. But now it is not getting disappeared, it is just collecting in the box because I have just restricted the boundaries of the collision so that the smoke will remain in this box. Fine. So this was this, and everything else in this is same. You can just increase the speed by increasing this time scale and everything, and these things are the same as the previous in the water simulation. Now coming to the field force field one, let's just click on force field one, and now you can see this, there is something spheric thing just came out of from nowhere, and I don't know what it is doing. This is best control Z for now. Okay. uh let's just add a cube again, a small one, and a force field, pointed one, line. We have many things, so we will be seeing every single one but step by step. Just go to 0 and okay, let's just see, does it affect anything or do it do anything or anything. Just do it like this. Okay, let's just do force. Instead of force, we will use wind. We will use wind. It will be more clear to see. uh, Let me just show you. And if we click on domain and bake the mesh really quick, now you can see this. Like initially when this box was not there, this was not instead of box, let me just give the force field to something else. So initially if I just hide this, let me just remove it from the viewport, and let me just, what I can do is free the data and bake it again. So you can see this right now. Right now this smoke is going at the top. Right now nothing is happening, but at the time when I just, okay, I need to delete this one. Why is this here? If I just bring this one and just render it out again, so now you can see this. Now the wind is affecting the smoke. Now you can see this. Now the smoke is affected by the airfield. So there are many options. Different things do different things. We can if you guys want, we can see individual one. Please write yes no in the chat box. We can even change the strength. Let me show you what the strength does. Like if I do it like 0.1 right now in the wind, and let it be in the line in the plane, let's just be in the point itself, and let's just click on domain, free the data again, and pick it up really quick. Now you can see this. Initially, it's when strength was around uh, wind strength was around 1, so it was giving a completely different result, and after doing this it is giving a completely different result. If I increase the strength, like let me just increase the strength to 0.3, I think, and let's just pick it again. This is the problem with modular one. There's a bit of a problem with the replay one too, as you guys see in the first half, and this is the problem with the uh, baking one. You need to just again and again free the data and bake it again. It takes a bit of a time to do it. So now you can see this. So it is a completely different simulation from the previous one. So this is the what the force field does. You can you can just change everything and you will get completely different results. So moving on, let's just see what other smoke and other simulation does. Let me just change it to fire plus smoke, and let's just free the data and let's see what it does. Pick. Now you can see this. You can see this, like there is a fire and smoke simulation. Like this cube is on fire right now, and this is happening. And if I increase the speed, like strength to 1, then it will give a completely different simulation than the previous one. Free up the data, pick it again. Just hit play. Now I can see this. This is a completely different simulation from the previous one. Okay, moving on. Let's just see if we have missed anything in the fluid domain itself. Fire is just a fire simulation, nothing much. Absolute. Okay. There are some new options to the this one, density and everything else, fuel, this one. smoke color and everything. Let me just show you what it does. Let's just go to domain, and let's just did a smoke. And from the name, what it suggests, it is like if you give legislative, if you want to make a flare gun and you want to give a reddish color to it. Let's just be this, it is too reddish. Let's just give it like this. I think this is the flare color. So if we go to domain again and free up the data and bake it again, you will see the difference. For that we need to, I think, go to the render view mode. Okay, it is not working for my PC. Okay, you can't see anything. It will be difficult for in my PC to show you these things real time. But yeah, you will know that this has got a reddish color. This smoke has got a reddish color. Okay, initial temperature, like from the name, what it is saying, it is just like that. Let's just say initial temperature is like 100. Let's just do this, and let's just pick the mesh, and let me show you what it does. It is easier to understand when I show you instead of just telling things. Okay, now you can see that there is a completely different simulation from the initial one. If I just hit the play button, now the initial, when the initial temperature is high, the smoke which is released initially is just completely different from the previous part, from the previous time. The temperature, the higher the temperature, the higher will be the smoke, the this one. So this was for the initial temperature. And density, from the name it suggests, let me just increase it to like 10. It will accept, yes. And let me just make it up really quick. You will see how dense this smoke will get. Now you can see that the density of this smoke has gotten like really thick. This smoke has gotten really thick itself. So this is what the density does. And rest of the things are cheap. Surface emission is like, if you increase the surface emission, it will emit more of a smoke from the name itself. These things are like this simple. I'm baking it because the replay one is not giving me the correct results, to be honest, because it is just bit of an inconsistent. I don't know why it is not working properly right now. I think this is because I'm live streaming, so it is just taking bit of a time to get calculate to take calculation. We are not getting the proper simulation. That's why I'm baking it. Uh, so I was just initially using like replay one only, but I don't know why it is not working properly right now. Let me just go to here and just play. I just clicked on play button, and it is just, I don't know. It is just not giving me the correct results what I want to show. That's why I'm baking it again and again. Yeah, it is taking time. Instead of that, I'm just baking it up. Sometimes it gives the results, sometimes it is not interested in giving the results in replay one. So that's why I'm using the module one. There's nothing like that. Okay, let's just okay, I think we have covered most of the things in the smoke and in the fluid simulator. We have initially saw everything about a liquid one, domain and everything, effector, etc. And the smoke one, we have also covered it. Now moving on, let's just see different force fields. Like right now we are on the wind one, and let's just use the vortex one. Vortex one. Let me just bring the, okay, just I just hide it, and ZZ. Let's just bring the vortex here, and let's just see if the, okay, I need to increase the vortex strength. Oh, come on. Like now you can see this what vortex is doing. Like it is just creating a tornado type thingy. Mm, so it is just used for that. From the name, what it suggests, it is doing exactly that, and it is getting messier because I have just put the strength at 10. So that's why. If I decrease it like to a sensible number, just say let's just say 5. Let's just do it, and let's just see the simulation. Let's just make it really quick. I don't know why it is giving me trouble right now. So you can see this right now, the smoke which is coming out, it is just getting vortex right now. So this is what it does, and let's just free the data and let's just see. Let's just go to magnetic, and these things will be useful when you are doing something else. Right now I'm not going to show you. I'm just going to show you the ones uh, which will be effective in this smoke simulation. So turbulence, from the name, which you generally feel in the aeroplanes. So that is what it will done in the smoke simulation. Let's just do it like line one. Yeah, line one. I think it will be fine. Okay, let's just quickly break it up. Oof, I think I have just increased the density too much. Let me just decrease the density. So you can see this, the turbulence has been created by this one. There is just too much of the density right now, so that's why it is bit of an invisible. But yeah, you can see this, like smoke is getting turbulence right now, so that is what the turbulence one do. Okay, wind we have covered, vortex we have covered, turbulence we have covered. Anything else which I can show you guys in this one? Mm, okay, this is, I think this is it. So if you guys have any doubt regarding today's workshop, okay, we have bit of a time, so let's just do soft body. Also, we can also cover the soft body one. Just delete it. And for that, I will prefer the UV sphere, GZ. Before doing that, let's just remove it. Just add the subdivision modifier. Shade is smooth, and let's just do it to Shift D. And let's just quickly quickly give them soft body. I think it will be fine. Soft body. Hmm. Okay, they are stuck like that. Let me just really quick change it. Okay, as a forward to give the plane a collision one. Let's just make it a rigid body. Let's make it a rigid body or a collision one. Let's just make it a rigid body for now, and let's just off this dynamic one. Mm-hmm. It is not happening. Okay, it has no geometry to work with. Sorry for that, I just forgot about it. Oh, come on, just hmm. Now it is happening. Okay, but my PC is just not working. Okay, it is back. Okay, now you can see this. Right now, the soft body simulation, it is just hitting this, and it is just bit of a slow simulation. It is just taking a while to simulate. So right now what I did was I just provided this floor with a collision simulator, and I just provided the geometry to work with. Right now initially it has this four vertices, so it can't predict where the spheres are going from. So I just provided the geometry with, and after that when I play the hit button, I just uh, press the play button. Here you can see this soft body is getting crushed under its own weight. For that, we need to just change its properties to get it working. Like right now, let me just change some settings so that it will be showing you a bit more what we have to do. And I will, in the meanwhile process, I will also tell you guys how these properties work. Okay. Right now what is happening is like this sphere itself is crushing itself in its weight. So for that we need to change some settings. Now you can see this. Okay, it is taking a while to simulate. Hmm. So what I did is like, let me just hide these balls, otherwise it will be a bit more confusing. So if I just uh, doing like this, initially when the blend value is like 0, here let me show you. Bending value is initially 0. It just crush itself in its own weight. Like here it is just getting its own weight. But when the bending value gets increased, what it does is just provide a resistance to the bending of how much it needs to bend. So that is what is happening. So right now it is just not bending that much, but it is acting like a jelly stuff instead of just getting uh, crushed by its own weight. You can just increase it more. Okay, my PC is struggling with it. So if I just increase it to like 3, then it will be like more, it will be less affected by these things. So this is what how the soft body work. You can just change these things, like you can just see, checkbox this stiffness, and you will get the stiffness. Like you can see this is getting a bit more stiff. Like if I do the binding to 0, and if I just go to 0 again, my, my laptop is not working as I wanted. So for that, now you can see that there is a stiffness in the compression. Like initially when I just check just unbox it, you can see that there is no stiffness. It is just like a cloth ball just falling from the head. But if I increase this stiffness, you can see this. It has just bit of a like a parachute clothing which is falling on. So if I increase the bending, it will just get more stiff than the previous one. Like now it will remain, it will try to be in its safe. This is what it does. So yeah, so these are the things, these are the some things which generally happen in the in the software simulation. uh, More things I think we will cover in the next workshop. We are still left with the soft body one, and dynamic paint and rigid. I think rest simulation and the dynamic paint. Dynamic little bit I told you about soft body right now, and the dynamic paint, it is a different thing. So we might cover it in some other topic. I think we will cover it in the particle